गुड मॉर्निंग ऑल ऑफ यू जय जगन्नाथ आपन को स्वागत करूची स्टडी एग्रो पीसी चैनल रे। आई होप ऑडियो वीडियो ठीक थिवो टिके क्रॉस चेक करि नेबे एंड कंफर्म करिवे सो दैट वी कैन स्टार्ट द सेशन। ऑडियो वीडियो ठीक थिवो, एवरीथिंग इज फाइन। सो टुडे इज 22nd September and from today onwards you will find the GST 2.0 with reduced price of different goods and services, and people will have more saving. Thank you for the confirmation. Good morning Sangeeta, good morning Sikha, Samir and Rajendra. Okay, तो चलन तो start करेगा। Today's news: H1B visa fee, smog-eating technology, ongoing protest in Ladakh, pilgrimage to Pakistan, timeline for governor. Odisha has over 9,000 malnourished kids, Ashribad Mahapatra and first crab hatchery. H1B visa fee has been increased by the US, as you know. So say we said देखिए $1 lakh H1B visa fee is not annual but a one-time fee tied to new visa petition. जो ट्रम्प सरकारंकर जो वीजा फी इंक्रीज करा जाइछि $1 lakh. सो सडनली अपन देखिबे काफी केओटिक सिचुएशन हेतिला जो माने दोज वर अबाउट टू लीव यूएस से माने फ्लाइट रो ही ओलई पड़थिले कारण वंस यू ट्राई टू एंटर और कार रिन्यूअल अछि सो से माने समस्ते भाबिले कि नहीं $1 lakh पे करिवा को पड़िबो. सो द क्लैरिफिकेशन हैज बीन गिवन बाय द व्हाइट हाउस अगेन एंड द क्लैरिफिकेशन इज द न्यू वीजा, इट्स नॉट द एनुअल फी बट वन टाइम फी फॉर द न्यू वीजा एप्लीकेशन और न्यू वीजा पिटिशन. Okay, renewal pai as it is जो price अच्छी that you have to pay. So it is only for the one time and that is the new visa. It applies only to fresh and new H1B visa petitions. Current H1B visa holder, including those outside the US, will not have to pay the fee to re-enter or renew. So they do not have to pay further any amount of money if or those having this existing visa. The only people, those newly people or newly this visa applications have to pay this $1 lakh. And let's see the kind of implication will have on our IT and different sector. First one is increased cost for the Indian IT companies. Increased cost. Indian IT giants Infosys, TCS, Wipro, HCL, etc. are among the largest user of H1B visa. So $1 lakh one-time fee for a fresh petition will significantly raise the cost of sending employees to the US. So those software companies, TCS, Infosys, okay, Wipro. So in that case, now if they want to issue a new visa for the US, then they have to pay this much $1 lakh. Shift in hiring strategy. Companies may prefer hiring local US techies, local US talent rather over the Indian talent because of this. कारण आपण देखिबे if you see that in terms of visa holder H1B 72% are Indian visa holder or visa holders are Indian, and second highest I think 15% from the China and other countries. Okay, so it's a big blow to India and the software industry in India. Impact on small and mid IT firms. Smaller firms may find the US market less viable because of the steep upfront fee. So small or mid IT firms, basically they do not have to bother because they are not competing with the US companies, so they are not bothered about it. But the only bother for this large software companies like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, HCL, etc. What is this H1B visa? It's a non-immigrant work visa. It's a non-immigrant work visa that allows US companies to employ foreign workers in specialty occupation. Foreign workers in specialty occupation, that means the Indians are allowed, these Indians are allowed to enter into the US जो software companies. Okay, तो ସେମାନେ କୋଉ ମାନେ IT, engineering, medicine, finance ଏ ସବୁ ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ସେମାନେ non immigrant कोण ପାଇଁ କୁହାଯାଉଛି? Because they are not considered as the immigrant, they are only assigned or they are only hired for a certain or assigned task for a project. ସେମାନେ କ'ଣ କରନ୍ତି? ଯାଆନ୍ତି. Validity ଦେଖିବେ usually 3 years, 2 to 3 years, and extendable is to 6 years. Okay, this is the validity with respect to H1B visa holder. Okay, if you see the in terms of India implication specifically for India, 70% of all H1B visas go to Indians, mainly the IT professionals. Okay, ଆପଣ ଜାଣିଥିବେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସଫ୍ଟୱେର ର ଗୋଟେ ଟାଇମ ରେ କାଫି କ୍ରେଜ୍ ଥିଲା, ଏବେ ବି ଅଛି. Once I mean 7 to 8 years back, ଯଦି ଆପଣ ଦେଖିବେ, there was a software craze among the people that if you are entered into the software industry, first of all you will be highly paid, number one. Number two, once or twice you will be getting a chance to visit the foreign countries, maybe UK, maybe US. So it was a dream comes true type ro jinso. तो ଯେମିତି କୁହନ୍ତି मेरा एक सपना था, तो ସେଇ type ର ଜିନିଷ. Now this dream has been shattered by the US or hike in the visa fee. Okay, तो India's IT services industry, खास करके Infosys, TCS, Wipro, etc. relies on H1Bs to send skilled workers to the US client. Remittances from these workers from a big economic link between India and US. Okay, so ସେମାନେ remittances ବି ଦଉଛନ୍ତି. Remittances, what is this remittances? Those sending money back to their family living in India. So that is another kind of remittances को कोउ account रे ଆମେ रखुचे? Current account रे. Yes or no? Remittances, also known as the transfer payment. Remittances, also known as the transfer payment. So this has been kept under the current account. Okay, so this would be hampered because as per the World Bank report, the highest recipient of remittances in the world, that is India. Because of this, workforce in the Middle East, workforce in other countries. Next, smog-eating technology. Government to conduct study on smog-eating tech to combat air pollution, says Sirsa. Basically, the national capital region, since festivals are coming, Dasera, Diwali, you will find the firecrackers and you will find this winter days, so pollution havata swabhavik. So before that, we are planning that is smog eating technology so that we can minimize the pollution. Let's see. The Delhi government has directed the Environment Department to conduct a time-bound feasibility study on smog-eating photocatalytic coatings. Smog-eating photocatalytic coatings. These coatings based on titanium dioxide are to be tested on roads, pavements, and public concrete surfaces to help reduce pollutants like nitrogen dioxide and harmful hydrocarbons. Okay, ये particular technology से कोठी use करा जिवो as a coating roads, pavements, okay, public concrete surfaces, whether they will be able to eat those smog particles, particulate matters, okay, these elements or not. Nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, as you know, they causing this acid rain भी करांती है माने nitrogen dioxide and nitrogen oxide and sulfur जो आपनकर अछि dioxide माने acid rain भी करांती हमें पढ़ी environment रे. So these harmful substances or pollutants will be eaten away by these technology. सेटा को experiment करा जाउची so that to minimize the air pollution in these festive season. The study will include on-ground field trials, monthly progress updates, and final report due within 6 months from the date the MOU is signed. Okay, so next 6 months ଭିତରେ ଆମେ यारो final review देखिबा and that will be implemented. Key assessment criteria will include effectiveness, cost efficiency, sustainability and safety, and identification of credible suppliers for scale of its successful. Jadi it will be successful, effectiveness, cost efficiency, sustainability and safety, then definitely that will be used on a large scale to reduce the pollution. Why this matters? Photocatalytic coatings are a technology where surface is treated with materials like TiO2 can use light to trigger chemical reactions that break down certain air pollutants. So with the light it can break down those particulate matters and it can reduce the air pollutants, as we can see. If proven workable and safe, such coatings could be deployed in high traffic and high pollution areas, markets, busy corridors, public spaces to help to improve ambient air quality. Okay, so the successful hella, then it will be used in a large scale, specifically market, public spaces, okay, ambient air quality ko improve kariba pai. Moving to the next, ongoing protest in Ladakh. We fear big industries, outsiders will occupy our land. This is what the Ladakhis are saying. Sonam Wangchuk apne janithibe tankar leader achandi and he is in this fasting, consistently demanding for the separate statehood and all. Let's see. Ladakh was carved out as union territory without legislature after abrogation of Article 370 on August 2019. J&K, if you see, ye complete statehood thila and 370 was the special status was given to J&K. So 2019 August we simply abrogation of this 370 article, that means special status ko hatai diya jaithila. Now J&K has been treated as UT but with a legislature. Okay, Omar Abdullah is the chief minister. So what Ladakhis are saying, although we have been carved from this Jammu and Kashmir region, but they have been treated differently. That means they are UT and they have this legislature. At least people's representatives should be there to raise people's voice in the state at the national level as well. But Ladakh ko jodi apne dekhibe, it's completely one UT with no such representation of the local people. So, UT raje administrator roibo, obviously that person will be appointed by the union government, and union government, whatever they want, they can simply implement at the ground level without taking any feedback from the local people, or there is no such feedback mechanism. At least in this UT of Jammu and Kashmir, they have a legislature. They can pass or they can simply raise their people's demand at the assembly. They can simply speak to the union regarding certain matters with the help of their people's representative. But Ladakh re sabari konosi jinso nahi. While Leh initially welcomed UT status, concerns soon grew over land, jobs, culture, and political representation. Let me tell you, I'm going to go to Danips and Danics. ये जो डैनिक्स एंड डैनिप्स होची आपनकर जो सिविल सर्विसेस रे जो रिक्रूटमेंट करा जाए आपनकर जो यूनियन टेरिटरी पई जिंदी दमन दीव अंडमान निकोबर ये सर्विस ये जो जगह रे समन को डिप्लॉय करा जाए पुलिस सर्विस भी अच्छी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सर्विस भी अच्छी जो आईएएस आईपीएस मन को अच्छा these are the UTs तो सेठी की को माने जाई परिबे any person would be chosen by the central government, right? Any person would be chosen by the central government. तो से यूपी रहते ही पारे से केरला रहते ही पारे, but they will be appointed in those areas. That means obviously those people do not have any concrete idea about the local areas, right? And there are no such people's representative as well, those who will convey to the administrator of those areas. Through they are in that suspicion mode that our land, our jobs, our culture, political representation, etc., lands will be given to somebody else. Our jobs will be taken away by other people. Our culture would be diluted. Our political representation would be vanished. So these are the demands which have been kept by the Ladakhi people. That's why they are protesting. The center formed a high-powered committee in January 2023 under the Minister of State Nityanand Rai. Talks have been irregular and inconclusive. Jaldiyo, we have a particular task force, high-level committee, high-powered committee, but there is no such regular talk and conclusive ideas with respect to the discussion between the Ladakhi people and the union government. So what are the key demands? कौन से मन demand good? What are the key demands? The first is the statehood. I think they will compensate with the statehood with the UT plus legislature. What I feel, at least they need a representation. Okay, full statehood no hale bhi they could manage with this UT plus legislature. Actually, what they are trying to get that. Sixth schedule safeguards for the tribal land, jobs and culture. So they will decide what would be or what kind of use of their land would be, jobs and culture. Karna pe dekhibe in Ladakh division or Ladakh region, many such companies, specifically the Adani group, have been given acres and thousands and lakhs of acres of land with respect to this solar plant, जो solar panel plant in fact, okay, सेठी solar energy को produce करा जाई पारे. So what these people are demanding, it will damage the ecosystem or the biodiversity of Ladakh. Separate Lok Sabha seats for Leh and Kargil districts. Okay, Lok Sabha seats. Filling of government vacancies in the UTs. The UT रे जो government vacancies गुड़िको अच्छी, that must be reserved for the Ladakhi people. Concern driving the protest, land protection, fear that outside industries and hoteliers will acquire land, marginalizing local family-run businesses. So, the small businesses गुड़िको अच्छी, they will be shut down. Number one, local people will not get the employment if this large, big hotels and restaurants would come to that place, because Ladakh is a good tourist place. So they are in fear. Earlier, Article 370 provisions barred outsiders from the land purchase and jobs. Those protections are gone. So they are suspecting jobs would be taken away by Bahari people. Culture and identity. Safeguards under 6th schedule are seen as a vital for preserving Ladakh's unique tribal culture. ତେଣୁ ଯେହେତୁ tribal culture ସେଠି ଅଛି, they have indigenous and unique tribal culture that can only be protected through the 6th schedule, and there is no other way. Political voice. At present, Ladakh has only one Lok Sabha seat and no legislative assembly. So ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ they are demanding Leh ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ separate Lok Sabha seat and ଆପଣଙ୍କର Kargil ପାଇଁ. And let me tell you, जदि आपनकर जो हमरा आसीवर अच्छी delimitation after the census, revision of census, so there could be a possibility increase of the Lok Sabha seats, okay, on the basis of population and demarcation of the constituencies. तो ही तई पारे मन को शेयर भी आसी पारे. Okay, significance and implications. Strategic region. Ladakh shares sensitive borders with China and Pakistan. Okay, discontent could affect her national security. So LAC and LOC amaro duiti jako achi, China side re gote achi, Pakistan side re achi. If these people are disappointed, discontent among them, so that could affect our national security, and national security can be compromised. Okay, so you cannot rely, suppose जेमती हमारा कोटिया पंचायत रे जो dispute चली छी, आंध्र भी समान को support कला, सेमान भी आंध्र आड़ को पड़ेले. If they will get better treatment, better facilities from the neighboring countries, you can't expect to the Pakistan, but you can expect to the China. Pakistan does not have that much resources to fund these people because Pakistan is now struggling. China kari pare se jinso, okay, insurgency create hi pare because of this vulnerability. Governance vacuum, absence of legislative assembly reduces participatory democracy. Absolutely correct. And UT is a completely centralized system. Okay. Test case, if Ladakh gets sixth schedule, it may set precedent for other UTs and regions demanding the tribal safeguard. So once it will be given the sixth schedule, that means every other UT starts demanding. And UT upare control एथि दरकार and खास करी लद्दाख upare because of this strategic presence. Center periphery relation reflects wider tension after Article 370 abrogation and the UT reorganization. एमानक कहबा कथा होची we have been demoted. हमर त आगुरु state थिलु हमें, we were part of the state, but we have been given the demotion. सब केस रे प्रमोशन हुए, यूटी रू स्टेट ही जानते, हमें स्टेट रू यूटी एंड दैट टू विदाउट लेजिस्लेचर. So that is their demand. Government action so far. In May 2024, President Draupadi Murmu notified 4 regulations on reservation, language, domicile and hill council. Protest groups argue these do not address their core demand, statehood plus 6th schedule. कले reservation, job रे reservation रहिबो, language को preserve करा जिबो, domicile आपनकर जो प्रायोरिटीज दिया जीव लद्दाखीज मानंगु एंड हिल काउंसिल भी गठन करिवा, बट से कहउचंदी नो 6th शेड्यूल दियो आउट स्टेटहुड दियो. ओके, नेक्स्ट देखिबा पिलग्रिमेज टू पाकिस्तान. काफी इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक. क्रिकेट खेलुचो हमकु कहीं की छाडुनो. ओके, इफ cricket is allowed, why not pilgrimage to Pakistan? Let's see what kind of pilgrimage with the Pakistan. Nankana Sahib, birthplace of Guru Nanak, sacred for Sikh worldwide. Pilgrims travel there on special occasions like Gurupurab. Okay, special occasion होची Gurupurab. Kartarpur Corridor 2019, landmark people-to-people initiative allowing visa-free travel to the Darbar Sahib, Pakistan, temporarily shut during COVID-19, reopened in 2021. So basically, you have to cross the border of Pakistan to enter into the Kartarpur Corridor. Okay, Kartarpur Corridor. And Pakistan allowed this. We had a good this relation we started, and we allowed this. Qatar and Pakistan in this turmoil of India-Pakistan relation, 2019 रे Kartarpur Corridor को accessibility कहीं की दिया गला. And visa free accessibility, जो मने Sikh Indians, India रे जो मने अछंती Sikh people, they can access to that Kartarpur Corridor. या पुछरे किछे experts कहले, it's a gesture of goodwill. Pakistan wants to improve the relation. Au kichi कहले, this is not the case. This is not a gesture of goodwill. Neither the Pakistan wants to improve the relation. Rather, Pakistan wants to Pakistan wants to act as a sympathizer of Khalistani movement, and Pakistan wants to instigate this Khalistani people. That is the reason they wanted to open this Kartarpur corridor. कारण Khalistani movement हमें time to time देखिचे, and not only in Punjab, we have seen the other parts of the country. जो मैंने Punjabis and Sikh, they are different in the Canada and other Australia. So मैंने Khalistani movement को धीरे धीरे कौन करूँचंदी, instigate करूँचंदी, support करूँचंदी. So what Kartarpur corridor हमको देखिए वक्त मिलता था. So it was shut down during the COVID and reopened in 2021. Current suspension, May 2025, Operation Sindoor context, government suspended Kartarpur corridor citing security. So it could be infiltration or all this national security concern. So this has been shut down. Now in November 2025, it has extended restrictions to Jathas, pilgrim groups visiting Nankana Sahib. ओके, तो ये भी वर्तमान नवंबर 2025 ऑनवर्ड्स ये भी शट डाउन कर दिया गला, बंद कर दिया गला. स्टेक होल्डर रिस्पॉन्स समझते कौन कोचन देखो, खास करके सिख डिवोटीज. डीप डिसअपॉइंटमेंट, इमोशनल इंपैक्ट. पिलग्रिमेज सीन एज ए सैक्रेड राइट, नॉट ए लग्जरी. सो मंदिर जिबा, गुरुद्वारा जिबा, हमरो श्राइन जो सैक्रेड श्राइन को एक्सेस करिबा, इट्स ए राइट and it's a fundamental right of a person. This is not a luxury and we cannot stop it. Obviously, no fundamental right is absolute. It is subject to restrictions with respect to what? National security, social, political order. right? So Sikh organization urging centers to reconsider, highlight that pilgrimage continued even during wars. Academics and experts criticize pick and choose. So coach in cricket you choose, but this religious access denied. Okay, discrimination ho. Community concern. India's stance affects not just local Sikh, but global Sikh diaspora who see religious freedom and cultural ties as paramount. Larger issue, religious freedom. Article 25, again, right to practice religion through pilgrimages. Ye definitely fundamental right, but again, it's not absolute, because this is the problem of national security and we have to compromise. True, Pakistan jiba is not a fundamental right, but religious freedom, practice your religion at pilgrimage site. Okay. So India-Pakistan relation reflects trust deficit. People-to-people ties are the first casualty in tension. Consistency in foreign policy, allowing cricket but disallowing pilgrimages look contradictory, weakens government's rationale. Soft power and diaspora diplomacy, Sikh diaspora sentiments play global role. Sikh dominant upon the UK, US, Canada is they are also raising voice. Security versus rights debate, balancing genuine national security threats with citizens' cultural and religious rights. Next देखिए timeline for governor, ये चली news अपनकर जो तमिलनाडु governor. Article 200 does not prescribe a timeline. It only says governor shall assent, withhold assent, return or reserve the bill as soon as possible in case of returning. ये जो as soon as possible is again is subject to debate. Okay. तो कितने जल्दी ही परिवार as soon as possible ASAP. Supreme Court April 2025 judgment State of Tamil Nadu versus Governor interpreted shall as mandatory not discretionary. It is जो shall टी mention अच्छी shall assent, it's a mandatory not discretionary, and fixed a 3 months timeline for the governor and for the president under Article 201 to decide. And in case of president konala, if a particular bill would be reserved by the governor for the president's consideration. In that case, again, the 3 months time has been given. Center's position or the union, presidential reference, May 2025. Timelines are not in the constitution, hence the judiciary cannot prescribe them. It is for the political process to resolve such conflict, not the courts. So what central government says? Central government got a presidential reference under Article 143 was asked to the Supreme Court to advise on this particular judgment. So what government is saying, court ro kama hochi kon, what is the role of the court? The constitutional validity ko proof kareva. It's not the duty of the court to make a law, rather to test the law with respect to its validity, whether it subscribes the values of the constitution or not. If it violates the values of the constitution, then definitely the law would be null and void. Okay. Can the governor withhold assent on his or her own discretion? General rule is no. Samsir Singh, governor acts on the aid and advice of the council of ministers in all but a few exceptional cases. Okay, what you call the discretionary cases. Withholding assent cannot be done at a personal discretion. It must reflect ministerial advice. That is the reason the governor and president are known as the ceremonial post. Okay, so what exactly done by the president and governor? They are done by the council of minister headed by the prime minister. Okay, because they act on the advice of this council of minister headed by the prime minister. Returning the bill also only on ministerial advice. Okay, if they want to return the bill, again the ministerial advice to let's make a change or something. Reservation for president, mandatory in some cases. Example, reducing the high court powers. Reducing the high court powers or any such which contravene the national law. Suppose if religious conversion would be a topic and religious conversion the Supreme Court, or let's say the Union government has made a law regarding the religious conversion. Similarly, state government also came with a law with respect to religious conversion. But state government law contravenes the central government's law. Kichu gote contradictory asila. And then the governor can reserve this bill for the reconsideration of the president. E case re generally amuku dekhivak mile, and it's completely a discretionary power. Okay, so there are some exceptions with respect to discretion possible in rare cases of patent unconstitutionality. E jemti mu kahili, e case re kon hochi unconstitutionality dekha jauchi, that means state is contradicting the union law. This governor's role is largely ceremonial, not discretionary, except in narrowly defined situation. Ceremonial in nature, jemti crown in UK, similarly president and governor in India. Why has the center opposed judicially fixed timelines? Because constitutional silence, that means in constitution there is no explicitly mention of the timeline or the time period. So how can the Supreme Court decides it? If that would be decided, that is the only legislature can do that, not the Supreme Court. And again, it's simply violation of what? The theory of separation of power. And in India, if you see, जोटाको आमे आगुरु भी मु डिस्कस करिछि, जोटा के जुडिशियल एक्टिविज्म बोले कहूछु, that could be a judicial overreach for the Supreme Court. Okay, governor's discretion, article 163, center argues it cannot be questioned by courts. If governor's discretion would be there, it cannot be questioned by the court. Judicial overreach, prescribing timelines, amounts to rewriting the constitution, which is not a part of the judiciary, rather it's a part of the legislature. Political resolution preferable, center says such tussles between elected government and governors should be resolved politically, not judicially. Okay, किंतु होउनी बोली तो आमे जुडिशियरी को जाइछु, कारण judicial activism कोन कहूछु. What judicial activism says, when the other organs of the government remains quiet or passive, then judiciary may act. Okay, that is the reason it is known as judicial activism. Recommendation of the commission, Sarkaria Commission, 1987, governors' reservation power must be very limited. President should decide within 6 months. तो ये सरकारिया कमीशन रिकमेंड करूची कि प्रेसिडेंट जो डिसाइड करेगा बिल ऊपर, that must be within the 6 months. And Punchi Commission in 2010, governors should decide on bills within 6 months. Okay, so both these committees are recommending a time period to take decision by the governor or the president. Way forward कौन देखिएगा? Follow Supreme Court's purposive interpretation. Governors shall mandatory duty, not discretion. Second, acceptance time frame. 3 to 6 months window strikes a balance between flexibility and preventing misuse. Depoliticize gubernatorial office, address root problems of governors acting as a political agent. Strengthen cooperative federalism, ensure governors act as a constitutional head, not parallel to the veto players. तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल हेड हिसाब रे काम करिवे, एमति नो कि वीटो प्लेयर हे कि स्टेट गवर्नमेंट रे पैरेलली जिवे. ओके, ओडिशा रिलेटेड देखिबा. ओडिशा हैज ओवर 9000 malnourished kids. Key data on malnutrition: severe acute malnutrition cases 6 months to 6 years, 9,877 children. Districts with highest severe acute malnutrition: Mayurbhanj 1075, Keonjhar 858, Malkanagiri 647, Ganjam, Balesur, Kalahandi. Similarly, you will say lowest SM is the Bodh, Jagatsinghpur, Puri and Deoghar. Improve government intervention, supplementary nutrition program, that is nutritious food to all children 6 months to 6 years in the Anganwadi centers. Okay, 6 ମାସରୁ 6 ବର୍ଷ ଛୁଆଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ complete nutrition food provide କରିବା, and that is 25 days per month and 300 days per year. Mukhyamantri Sampurna Pushti Yojana, complete nutritional facility, that is take home ration for SAM children without health complication. Okay, they can take home the ration. Children with complications sent to nutritional rehabilitation centers. जो मैंने wasting, stunting, they are suffering from this kind of problem, they will be sent to the rehabilitation center. Padapusti program for children 3 to 6 in remote villages unable to access Anganwadis, provides morning snacks plus hot cooked meals. Expansion of Anganwadi network, that is 6,264 new Anganwadi centers, and existing center is 74,224. So these are some of the Anganwadi centers have been built in different district, and Kalahandi is the highest, 725. Ashribad Mahapatra belong to Bargarh district. Okay, major achievement is successfully scaled Mount Kilimanjaro, Africa's highest peak. Mount Kilimanjaro, Africa's highest peak. Carried tricolor and flag of Ma Samaleswari, cultural pride. Part of an international team, UK, US, Iran, Brazil and Germany. Okay, only Indian in the group. This is a remarkable achievement. Training and background, trained at Jawahar Institute of Mountaineering, Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir. Trained in skydiving, paragliding, skiing, CPR, search and rescue, shooting, high altitude survival. First crab hatchery, देखिए Odisha's first crab hatchery has been constituted in Paradip. MOU, Fisheries and Animal Resources Development Department, Rajiv Gandhi Center for Aquaculture and ERIC Odisha project, enhancing climate resilience of India's coastal communities. कल में marathon रे भी discuss करूँ. These are the institutions, among them a MOU has been signed. Odisha's Pratham crab hatchery in Paradip. Okay. Investment 3.58 crore. Funding a creek project. Okay. Implementation Fisheries Department. Key features: 1 million quality crab seeds. Benefits: sustainable aquaculture, and those coastal community, they will have an alternative source of livelihood. Boost blue economy and seafood export. Provide stable livelihood for the coastal farmers. Aligns with the climate resilience and biodiversity conservation goals. And we will discuss agriculture is not or may not be viable for them due to this climate change and its impact on the coastal region. So these could be their alternative source of livelihood. Okay. MCQs देखिए. The recent US announcement on H1B visa fee stated that it is a one-time payment applicable only to fresh H1B visa application. Okay. The smog-eating technology under study in India primarily aims to reduce ambient air pollution by breaking down particulate matter. The current protests in Ladakh are mainly demanding statehood, 6th schedule protection, separate Lok Sabha seat and filling of vacancies. The center recently stopped Sikh pilgrim Jathas from visiting Nankana Sahib due to security concern with Pakistan, despite cricket matches being allowed. Although cricket matches are being held in Dubai, not in Pakistan. Okay. Regarding a bill passed by the state legislature, the governor must act according to the advice of the Council of Ministers, except in rare cases. जोटा कि discretion बोली हमें कहूँ. So they must act as per the advice, aid and advice of the Council of Ministers, headed by the Prime Minister. As per the recent data, how many children aged 6 months to 6 years in Odisha suffer from severe acute malnutrition? कौन थिला यारो? $9,900. That is more than 9,000. Okay, more than 9,000. Ashribad Mahapatra, the mountaineer from Odisha, recently scaled Mount Kilimanjaro, which is in Africa's highest peak. Africa's highest peak. Okay. Which of the following is correct about Odisha's first crab hatchery? It will be developed at Gopalpur, Nuhe. It's Paradip. aims to produce 1 million crop seeds annually. It is located in the Paradip. B होची आपनकर आंसर. ओके क्राश कोर्स हमर चली अचीवर सीरीज जो मैंने चाहिए जॉइन करि परिबे आज टू करंट अफेयर्स हम स्टार्ट करिबा एंड प्लस हमर फाउंडेशन कोर्स अछि आरएम 10.0 कंप्लीट प्रिपरेशन पाई जदि आपण जॉइन करबा को चाहउछनी कारण डिसेंबर रे हमर नोटिफिकेशन आसीबार अछि. ओके एंड इफ यू वांट टू प्रिपेयर योरसेल्फ देन गोल्ड हो किंबा प्लैटिनम हो आपण जॉइन करि परिबे बाय यूजिंग द कोड J in life to get the maximum discount. Okay, by using the code J in live to get the maximum discount. बाकी PDF आपन को टेलीग्राम रे मिल जिवो and you can connect me with this telegram and किछि डाउट क्वेरी ओके टेलीग्राम जॉइन करी कि मो से तो आपण you can stay in touch. Thank you very much and